Hi everyone. I want to describe a pattern I've seen emerge at times in certain lives on social media, as well as when I look back on my life as well at times in various circumstances. The pattern begins with a hook of truth. Something familiar is presented, a shared experience, a recognizable insight, or language that closely mirrors your own lived reality or part thereof. That resonance draws you in, not through force, but through apparent understanding. Once engagement begins, the dynamic shifts. Belonging becomes conditional. What initially felt like shared truth is slowly inverted into a hierarchy of belief. A power struggle emerges. Authority replaces inquiry. Control replaces understanding. Questioning is no longer welcomed. Attempts to clarify, challenge, or remain independent are met with hostility, ridicule, or threats of removal. Participation now requires compliance with a rigid belief structure. To remain in communion, you are expected to adopt their language, mirror their beliefs, and suppress your own discernment. Access to further understanding is positioned behind submission. Agreement is treated as proof of insight. This creates a narrow corridor of engagement. To learn more, you must comply. To disagree, you are threatened with exclusion. What also becomes visible is the role of other members in sustaining this absurd structure. They do not offer substance, clarification, or independent insight. Instead, they reinforce the narrative through repetition and affirmation. Their participation centers on validating the distortion. They echo approved language. They reward compliance with praise and attention, stroking the ego. Some take visible pleasure in reinforcing the narrative, not by deepening understanding, but by amplifying themes of disconnection, superiority, or separation. This collective reinforcement stabilizes the structure. It discourages questioning. It normalizes control. It protects the hierarchy. The space becomes driven by fear of being removed, fear of being labeled ignorant, asleep, or dangerous. In some cases, this escalation furthers into encouragement of self-harm, where death or unaliving is framed as the only escape from this so-called matrix. That's no different than a cult. This is not philosophy. This is not spirituality. This is a destructive psychological pattern. It fits the definition of demonic, actually, in the dictionary, because it turns people against life itself. Any belief system that presents death as freedom is false. Truth does not require self-destruction. Awareness does not demand disappearance. If you encounter this pattern, disengage and protect your mind. Life remains the reference point.